get me. Don't get me, y'all. Don't get me, man. Don't get me. I didn't know it been that long, y'all. I didn't know it been that long. I didn't mean to stay away from y'all that long, though. I didn't. I didn't mean to stay away from y'all that long, man. I know it been 7 months, but I said I had to go ahead, time to come back. I ain't mean to stay on. I don't plan that. I don't plan on it happening again. I don't plan on it happening again. I can't be away from that long. Can't bleed away from horror that long. So, but this video is strictly about Evil Dead Burns. We gonna have another video. We gonna cover some other horror that came out in the past few months, horror news, horror movies. We gonna talk about and get to that. But it's strictly about Evil Dead Burns. And I want to start off by saying I want to compare. I just want to do a comparison a little bit to Evil Dead Rise, family wise with the family, because Evil Dead Rise, it was the mother and the 3 kids, and of course her sister came, and her sister. And the mother and the kid look like they tight knit, close or whatnot. Nice, look like they, cool little family. I guess you could say the only bridge or the only gap was the sister. They they haven't been talking or whatnot, but the sister, they haven't been talking, and Evil Dead Rise, they haven't been talking, but I say that to compare it to the Evil Dead Burn family, and the Evil Dead Burn family was a lot different. What made it even more effective for me and work for me is the family they already had issues in Evil Dead Burn. So you had like I said, the brother that had the wife, she's the main character. They obviously had a lot of issues. Look like he been abusive and things like that in that nature. But this is a spoiler review. Yeah, so you had that going on with the family. They already had issues, and look like the mother and father, and like I say, the 2 sons. The brother had a girlfriend. He wasn't married to the girl, but the one that was married, that's the one that she the main character. So very intense, man. Very intense. This is definitely way more intense than Rise to me. Because the family I already had, they was already, especially the husband and the wife, they already were having issues, and then something happened. Well, he got killed. I'm gonna let y'all see how he got killed in the movie. I know this is a spoiler, but I'm not gonna tell y'all everything. I'm sure if this is a spoiler, y'all already seen the movie anyways. But you had very intense. It was very intense. I'm just playing it back in my head. Don't get me wrong, Evil Dead Rise and all the other Evil Dead 2013, very intense too. But this one right here had a very high intensity to it, and then it actually started out like Rise. For some reason, it looked like the same lake as Evil Dead Rise. They were the same lake, but a different part of the lake, on another side of the lake somewhere. But it looked like we were back at the same lake, and it looked like the same girl body that was in the Evil Dead Rise. Is it the same body? Is it the same body? I don't know. Is it the same body from the girl in the Evil Dead Rise that was in the lake? And she came back at the beginning of Evil Dead Burn with the 2 dudes and stuff. yeah. But yeah, I was putting it together. I was like, I wanted that the same lake. But yeah, I enjoyed every bit of it, man. Of course, it was a little, someone was a little different to me. When the mother, the wife, because the husband, he was already turned. He was already possessed, and she, I guess the husband basically convinced her, hey, man, come and be a part of this. He didn't have to come hold her down, kill her, tried to grab her, do something to her, and then possessed her. She wanted to be possessed. She wanted to be with her husband, what it seemed like. And I'm just hitting little parts here and there. I'm not going through the whole. I'm not going to go through the whole movie and stuff. I'm just hitting little key parts. But it was just that part when she became. They kissed, and that's how the transferring of the obsession came upon her. Upon her. So yeah, that happened. But it was very intense, man. It was some brutal animal scene in here. Yeah. In that car scene, I don't even want to talk about it. in that car scene with the son and his girlfriend and the dad and the father. And the father, I want to make this very clear. The father, he set the tone of the movie as far as the intensity in this. He set the tone of that for me. He set the tone, man. Yeah. It's a lot of good. It's got a lot of intense moments in here, man. Of course, a lot of gore. Probably I definitely give the Edge the most goriest one, but we all know Evil Dead Rise, Evil Dead 2013. We know how gore and bloody was, even in the originals, the originals. Even though we know Arm of the Dogs is more of a comedy, it wasn't like the other Evil Dead, brutal, raw. But yeah, y'all, just my quick thoughts, just fresh thoughts out my head, it's a lot more I can just break down and get there in detail. I just want to hit little key spots that that was coming to my head. I'm gonna be back because we're gonna cover, like I said at the beginning, I'm gonna cover a lot of videos. We're gonna cover a lot of movies that already came out in the past few months and news or whatnot. I can't wait to get to that. We know it came out, some good horror or horror thrillers, as I should say. Some horror thrillers. That I say horror thrillers then came out. But yeah, this is about Evil Dead Burn. Y'all go check it out, man. Enjoyed it. Get your buckle your seatbelts, man. Yeah, Romero and Mike is back in this joint, man. I'm back. And I don't want to leave y'all. I don't ever want to leave y'all like that again, man. But I see y'all later in the next video. I'll be back.